You definitely shouldn't watch a childbirth video like this. Look, there's a lot of blood, and you guys will faint. So you really shouldn't watch it.
Today is my daughter's first birthday. My in-laws and brother-in-law came to our house to celebrate. When I suggested watching the childbirth video, my husband Josh got unusually upset. His agitation made my father-in-law and brother-in-law concerned, and they spoke up.
If it's me, I'll be fine, Josh. I was there when you and your brother were born. I'll be fine too, Josh. It'll be a learning experience. It's okay if your wife Camila is fine with it, right?
At my brother-in-law's request, I nodded in agreement. However, Josh was adamantly against it.
No, absolutely not. I'm telling you this for your own good. Don't watch it.
Josh exclaimed and snatched the childbirth video from my hand, retreating to his room.
What's gotten into Josh? He seems a bit off, doesn't he, Camila?
Yes, what's going on? Oh, I left the childbirth video in the player. Should we watch it without Josh? The video Josh took was a different one. Anticipating his actions, I had left the real childbirth video in the player. I quietly pressed the play button. It was to show the relatives the childbirth video, and Josh, his own hell. My in-laws and brother-in-law leaned in with interest, engrossed in the video. It began with a pregnant woman lying in the delivery room, her belly swollen and large. The camera angle focused on the lower half of her body, not showing her face.
It hurts, Josh, rub my back. Just a little longer. Hang in there. It hurts,
continued the woman. The pain seemed intense, and we all tensed up watching.
It hurts. I can't take it anymore. It's okay. Don't push yet. Breathe deeply. Inhale, exhale. I can't. Let me push. Good. The head is coming. Just a bit more.
Josh, sobbing, continued filming with a close-up angle of the action. Despite being scolded by the staff to move aside, Josh kept filming. Finally, a loud cry signaled the baby's arrival.
It's born. You did well. She's a healthy girl,
said the staff, and the baby was first held against her mother's chest. The grueling scene of childbirth was replaced by a divine image of mother and child. Tears welled up in the eyes of my in-laws and brother-in-law.
You did well, Camila. Josh did a great job assisting with the birth.
Then the camera panned out to show the woman's face. It was a face of tiredness and satisfaction after the ordeal of childbirth. The problem was, the woman was not me, but someone else entirely. The faces of my in-laws and brother-in-law changed upon seeing the woman.
Who is this woman? I don't recognize her. She's definitely not Camila. Josh was mentioned in the video. That means he filmed this. Why is he filming a stranger's childbirth? That's strange. What's going on here?
Everyone seemed confused. Just then, the door opened with a click, and Josh, looking fearful, peeked in. Everyone's gaze turned to him, the man of the hour. Josh, receiving everyone's attention, initially seemed confused, but upon seeing the video, he was shocked.
Why are you watching that? I have the video here.
I know what you did. You took a decoy. The real one is here. We just finished watching it.
Josh! What is this? Why do you have this video? Who is this woman? Yeah, Josh. This isn't your wife Camila, right? Are you having an affair? And even with a baby? I don't know who she is. Maybe Camila got it mixed up. Right, Camila?
I just smiled and said nothing. Instead, my father-in-law spoke up.
This is strange. Why would Camila have a video of a stranger's childbirth? And why do we even have such a thing in our house? Could this be some kind of mistake? I don't know anything about this. Camila, what's with that smirk on your face? Do you know something? This isn't some kind of sick joke, is it?
It's not a joke. You know it best. Don't you think I was going to cover for you? There's no way I would. Let's tell everyone the truth. That's the childbirth video of your mistress, isn't it?
What? What do you mean? Josh, explain this.
Josh remained silent. So I began to speak. Since Josh can't explain, I will.
Stop it, Camila. Don't make things worse. Josh, be quiet. Let's hear what Camila has to say.
I took a deep breath. See what happens to a betrayer. The woman in the video is named Michelle. It seems Josh was involved with her, and as a result, she got pregnant. Josh's face went pale. My in-laws and brother-in-law were too shocked to respond. Not a single person said a word. No one could believe that what they thought was their granddaughter's birth video was actually that of a stranger. In the silence, I began to speak again. After giving birth, I noticed Josh's strange behavior. He suddenly started working late and going in on weekends. When he was home, he'd lock himself in his room and fiddle with his phone.
That's because it was work.
It wasn't just that. He even canceled our important anniversaries on the day itself. My birthday and our wedding anniversary were both canceled.
I apologize for that. It was work. That's right, urgent work came up.
I was foolish to believe those words. What kind of modern company has all-night overtime or out-of-town work, especially for an internal finance job like yours? What business trips? That's strange.
I told you it was work. We were short-staffed and had internal troubles. You're being persistent.
Josh lies so easily. I used to believe him. We were busy with our baby, and I loved him.
You should believe what I say. I'm not lying. And I was only busy for a few months back then, right? Now I'm helping with housework and childcare.
Yes, but that doesn't erase everything. Let's tell everyone what happened during those months. I have proof, look. I showed a screenshot from Josh's phone. It had conversations between Josh and Michelle. When can we meet again? We just met. You want to see me that badly? You're so cute. Josh, I love you. The flirty conversation ended with Michelle's message, "Thank you for the beautiful gift. I will take good care of our baby." I wouldn't normally snoop on someone's phone. I had a reason. When I was cleaning Josh's room, I found an unfamiliar childbirth video.
So what? You shouldn't be snooping through someone's phone, even if we're married.
Josh yelled defensively. Knowing him, I became even calmer. Josh always raises his voice when things don't go his way. Confirming the truth of what I said. The day I found the video was our wedding anniversary. I was excited for a rare outing, dressed in a new dress, and had booked a fancy restaurant. But Josh didn't come home. When he finally called, he said he couldn't make it because of work. I was so sad. But I tried to calm myself, thinking it was just work, and started cleaning his room. Then I found the video hidden in the bookshelf gap. I stared at Josh, who was turning blue. I thought it was a video I didn't recognize and picked it up. It said childbirth of a loved one. I was shocked. Even more so when I saw it was a video of a woman I didn't know giving birth, filmed by you, Josh. That's when I first suspected your affair and checked your phone. The password was our daughter's birthday. It was easy.
Josh, what is this? Explain.
My usually calm father-in-law's stern words seemed to hit Josh hard. Josh was flustered and sweating profusely.
No, it's not like that, Dad. That's Camila's harassment. I've been too busy with work to pay attention to her. I wouldn't cheat.
Just then, the doorbell rang, signaling a visitor. Perfect timing. Come in. I checked the camera and opened the door. A woman in her late 30s entered. Wearing a white blouse with a deep neckline and a skirt above the knee. My mother-in-law was surprised by the sudden guest, but I had invited her. Camila, maybe she should come back later. We're a bit busy. No, she's part of this too.
What do you mean?
Yes, she was Josh's mistress, Michelle. In fact, I had consulted a lawyer about Josh's affair. I had the lawyer inform Michelle that I wanted a discussion. Michelle came alone, just as I had said. I'm Michelle. Hearing the name Michelle, my in-laws and brother-in-law gasped.
Michelle, so you're the one who had an affair with my brother?
Yes, I'm sorry for my thoughtless actions and causing everyone pain. Michelle apologized. She must have prepared herself for this moment. Michelle spoke clearly. I met Josh on a dating app. We hit it off over our shared love of action movies. He suggested we watch a movie together. I watched Michelle intently as she spoke. Though we had spoken on the phone, this was the first time we met. I knew she was in her late 30s, older than both Josh and me. Despite her young attire, her skin showed slight wrinkles. As I struggled with new motherhood, the thought of Josh having fun with her fueled my anger again. Michelle continued. After the movie, we met a few more times and became intimate. Soon after, I found out I was pregnant.
Is it really Josh's child? Do you have any proof?
Yes, Josh doubted it too, so we did a DNA test. It's 99% Josh's child. Michelle looked relieved as she spoke, unburdened by revealing everything. In contrast, Josh sat there, drained of energy.
When I told Josh about the pregnancy, he asked me to terminate it. But I wanted to keep the baby. I'm turning 39 this year. I thought it might be my last chance to have a child. That's quite selfish. You knew Josh was married, right? Did you understand what it meant to have a married man's child? Yes, but I couldn't give up the chance to have my own child. So, you only thought about yourself. Josh is foolish, but so are you. Your selfish actions hurt many people.
I'm sorry.
But I wanted my own child.
In the end, Josh agreed to my wish. He said he wouldn't acknowledge the child and didn't need to provide child support.
Foolish, both of you. And what about the video? Why did Josh film your childbirth? I wanted to keep a memory of what I thought would be my only childbirth. When my water broke, I called Josh, and he came with the camera. So Josh kept the video hidden? No, the last time I saw Josh, I put the video in my bag. I wanted him to remember me and our child. I truly loved Josh. But after the birth, I haven't met him. I never intended to break his family. I'm now living happily with my child and won't bother him again. And you think that makes it okay? You can't just be forgiven. You labeled it childbirth of a loved one, didn't you?
Yes. Michelle replied with a confident smile.
So that's what happened, Michelle. I finally understand. The last day I saw you, I found an unfamiliar video in your bag. I realized later it was the childbirth video and hid it. How could you do this? You've exposed everything. Take responsibility.
I'm sorry. But I couldn't forget about you.
I told you not to cause me any trouble. Because of your actions, my family is in chaos.
I'm sorry.
Josh was furiously red-faced. What nonsense is this?
My usually calm father-in-law's voice echoed loudly. I had never seen him so angry.
The cause of all this is you, Josh. Despite having a wife like Camila, you went after another woman and even fathered a child. Do you realize how much Camila has been hurt? Apologize to her first.
Our parenting must not have been good. I never thought you'd be this foolish, Camila's mother-in-law lamented.
That's right, big brother. Listening to this, it's just so selfish. I'm ashamed to be your brother, added Josh's brother.
Josh remained silent, but Michelle apologized again. Camila, and all the family, I'm very sorry. I won't cause any more trouble. I plan to raise the child alone.
Well, let's forgive her. She did all this because she wanted her child. She's not seeking recognition for the child or asking for child support. I only have one child, Camila. Don't look so scared. I'll make time for us from now on.
I was stunned by Josh's behavior, acting as if all problems were solved. Does he really think he'll be forgiven just like that? That's too naive. There's no way his betrayal of me and our child can be forgiven so easily. My in-laws seemed to agree.
Idiot. Are you trying to escape responsibility by blaming her? Apologize to Camila first. That's right. The most pitiable here are Camila and the child. Your sins for hurting your precious family are grave. It's unbelievable. You're worse than a worm.
I had no intention of forgiving my husband. Thinking he could escape the consequences of his affair and impregnating another woman was too audacious. Josh needed to face the gravity of his actions. So, let him see. I took out a document from an envelope on the table. This is a divorce paper. I've already signed my part, now you sign it.
Wait. Why divorce all of a sudden? It was just a little fun. Please forgive me.
Josh clung to her arm. But I continued calmly.
Just a little fun? Do you realize what you've done? While I was busy with our first child, you were out making another woman pregnant. You don't deserve to be a father, and I have no intention of building a home with a traitor. Your mere presence disgusts me. Let go of me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Josh started begging. Too late.
I've already consulted a lawyer. Since you cheated and had a child, you'll have to pay alimony. The going rate is $60,000.
Michelle, you too.
You've ruined my family. And child support until our child finishes college. Now get out of my sight. What do you mean child support? You're the one who wanted a divorce. I don't have to pay anything. You're not only the worst person but also an idiot. As a parent, you have a responsibility to pay. If you're not convinced, talk to the lawyer. That's right. You must take responsibility for your actions, Josh. We're cutting ties with you. We don't want to be involved anymore. We just want a peaceful retirement. I agree, Josh. You're the worst. Consider our brotherly ties severed. Don't contact me ever again. That's it then. There's no place for you in this house anymore. Leave.
Not a single person in Josh's family took his side. Josh looked at me with pleading eyes, but I glared back. My father-in-law grabbed Josh and shoved him towards the front door. Josh finally left the house, followed by Michelle. I threw the forgotten divorce papers at their backs. Later, I officially divorced Josh. Through a lawyer, I discussed and claimed alimony and child support. Josh reluctantly agreed to pay the alimony in installments and child support until college graduation. Despite the divorce being finalized, Josh repeatedly came to apologize and pleaded for reconciliation. But I never forgave him. Considering my daughter, forgiveness was impossible. Meanwhile, Michelle seemed unable to let go of Josh. After the divorce, she became clingy, showing up at his workplace and waiting outside his apartment. Josh had no affection for Michelle and no intention of being with her. Overwhelmed, Josh became a wreck, unable to leave his home. But it was none of my concern. After all, he reaped what he sowed. He will have to deal with it himself. I moved back to my parents' house with my daughter. Since my sister had just married and left home, my lonely parents warmly welcomed us. Surrounded by loving grandparents. My daughter is growing up well. Her unsteady steps and the beginnings of speech, calling out Grandma and Grandpa, had completely charmed my parents. I found happiness in these simple everyday moments. Though my marriage was a failure, my relationship with Josh's parents and his brother continued. They genuinely cared for me and my daughter, offering support whenever needed. Despite the painful and regretful experience of my marriage, I found warmth in my family. Now, as a single mother, I had no worries about raising my daughter. After all, I had a loving family supporting us.